Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sports Place where we talk sports and have sports debates. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe below, hit that notification bell, and let's get the show started. Okay, so unless you've been living under a massive rock the last couple of days, you have heard about Naomi Osaka um, declining to attend some pressers after after the upcoming Open, or did it start? I don't know. Either way, um, so she has attributed to her mental health and prioritizing her mental health, which I think we can all agree off the top that we should all be doing that. So kudos to her for that. But it's kind of brought up a little bit of a disparity between how um, the governing associations and the press treat different people as far as when they prioritize themselves or how when they opt out of doing different things that may or may not be a requirement or a part of the job. Um, have you seen the same thing? Have you been noticing it, or what's your take?
Billy, you
Yeah,
want to take this one?
absolutely. Yeah, this has been a reoccurring issue for a lot of black female athletes. Um, to get in falling into controversy for doing what everybody else is doing. Serena Williams had that cat suit at the French Open that was designed to help her recover after the surgery.
Right, it's
And
prevent blood clots. Like,
yeah, and one of the representatives from the French Open, said that what she wore was in disrespect to the French Open, and it was like, well, what do you mean? Because there's other dresses, other outfits, not dresses, other athletic forms that showed a lot more. And this had a purpose, and it was just done on a thicker woman. And all of a sudden, there's controversy. Oh, now you can't do this in the French Open. Venus has suffered controversy for doing a lot of the same thing that the other female tennis players were doing too. Um, in the gymnastic world, Dominique Dawes and Simone Biles getting moves. Dominique Dawes had her own controversy, but then Simone Biles is doing so good that they kind of like banned her moves or downgraded the level of her moves, the real scoring of it. And it's like, what can you do other than try to achieve perfection in these sports and you're doing the same or better. You're not doing anything to get any negative attention. This is nothing outside of the sport. This is within the sport. And you're doing everything the same, and all of a sudden there's a problem. All of a sudden, and it wears on you. And now Naomi's saying, "Well, I'm not going to answer the French Open questions, the media presser, because I'm sure in pressers, it's uh, you know 30, 40 magazines or different people asking the same exact questions, trying to maneuver their point of view into what you're saying. And and all you can do is try to play mental gymnastics, and so that they don't try to trip you up in what you're saying so they can have a headline. So I'm sure she did not want to play that game. She just wanted to play tennis. And if those are your rules, I have to do that, then I'm not going to do it. And now one of the French Open representatives told other Open representatives to not allow her to do the same thing, and now it's almost conspiring against her to play. And if the U.S. Open has different rules, then she should be allowed to do whatever for her mental health, because it is draining. There needs to be a change. This is obviously a great point where these organizations can say, how can we make this better? As opposed to saying, no, this is the way we do it and we've been doing this forever. That's a great way to fail, to keep saying, we've been doing this forever and we're going to keep doing it that way.
right,
So it's disrespectful to the athletes, and it's obviously pointed to the black female athletes. Whenever they do something, now it's a problem. But as opposed to what's been done for ages, that's either perfection, with Simone Biles creating a routine and bringing some notoriety to the gymnastics world through the open floor freestyle, or the pole vault, not the pole vault, the vaulting. And now she's coming up with different moves or doing moves that haven't been performed in the sport, and there's a problem. And it's like, what can you do other than try to be the best you are in your sport without without the media coming after you, without your own sport coming after you. And this, thank God, this is not other players coming after you, because they're already legitimately your opponents on the field anyway. So now if they were coming after you in the media, but you're not doing anything different, and it's like the world is raining down on you for being good. And why is this? Why is this specifically, targeted towards a black female athlete? Like, what more can they do? Savon, you have anything to add to that?
It really goes right back to me telling you how people dehumanize athletes, and especially black women in this professional sports realm. It's already hard enough for black women in society overall. You always tiptoe, not trying to be the angry black woman because you retaliate a certain way. Serena got labeled the angry black woman because she got mad about losing. No, she's a perfectionist. If you hate losing, you're going to hate losing. But when her counterpart, a white woman, or she may have been another nationality, she broke a racket and no one said anything. She's just passionate. She's on this, she's that. And it's not fair.
I tried to by everybody's favorite professor, and it kind of ties into what you're saying right here. So let me read that. The sport that produced John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, and Andre Agassi, the media has decided that Naomi Osaka is a brat for being anxious at a press conference. Not for throwing a racket or cursing out a line judge or a press conference. Like, the standards are just not the same.
And it's not fair. They feel like, because they're getting paid this amount of money that, they should do this. You're getting paid money to do this. No, I'm getting paid money to play this sport. And at the end of the day, if I feel like my mental capacity is not there, I should be able to take care of that, because I can't perform to where I need to be. And that's what they want. They want you out there stressing. They want you out there under all these other different elements coming on top of you, because she is the best in the sport right now. So they want to give her, they need leverage to make her look like any different. And it's not fair. At the end of the day, if it was anybody else, if Federer said, I'm going to take a leave of absence because I feel like I'm not there mentally right now, no one would say anything. They would commend him as a man taking care of his mental health. But a person in the black community where mental health is not taken serious anyway is trying to take care of themselves mentally. Why not? She's young. She's at probably one of the toughest times in her life because she's young. She has a lot going on. She has a lot of battles and things. She's probably the head of her family right now. But it's just like, it's not fair. Not just to her, but to black women in America as a whole. Because they're always fighting stigmas of not being that angry black woman. You can't retaliate because you don't want to be the angry black woman, and that's not fair at all. And if for her to want to take care of her mental health, I commend her. Naomi Osaka, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You feel like things are getting rough, you find somebody to talk to, you do what you have to do to de-stress and get away from the situation. Sometimes you have to step away from the game to make them appreciate you more sometimes. And that is what it is. I feel you. I know you love the sport, but mental health is everything. You out there and you're not yourself, you're not going to be yourself. You're not going to be the person that we know and love either way. So yes, take care of your mental health. Go back to Venus and Serena, how they're scrutinized for just being better. They think they're on HGH and stuff like that. No. Black DNA is just built different. I'm not trying to make any type of, it's the truth. Sadly. Not even sadly, because I'm proud man. But at the end of the day, for women to go through, they already go through enough in a man's world. It's always been a man's world, and they're just trying to find their way. And when they finally find their niche and they think they can't even think, I can't even think that I can take care of myself mentally, it's not fair. And Naomi did the right thing. It's okay to choose to step away from the media because they're asking questions that may hurt your, that may be detrimental to your mental health. And yes, and you see Venus came out, the way she said she responds to it. She said, I respond to the media because at the end of the day, I know no one asking me a question is better than me at what I do. They can't come out here and beat me. They can't come out here and do what I do. And that's cool. Everybody handles stuff differently. You see how she internalizes things. She turns it into fire. But everybody is not built that way. At the end of the day, you got to realize Naomi is young. What is she, like 21, 22?
22, I think.
And
22 and number 2 in the world in a young Black and Japanese woman in an extremely white sport. She's got a lot of pressure on her.
Definitely a lot of pressure. Like I said, she doesn't even know how to, and she's out here living on her own and all this stuff. That's a lot to take on. I went through a lot just going to college, and I wasn't even fully free. She's making millions of dollars. She's one of the highest paid athletes in the world. and you expect her not to have different types of problems just because she has all this money. Money doesn't make happiness all the time. Yes, it can buy you things to make you happy, but at the end of the day, if you're sad on the inside, that money is not going to change that. And if she feels like she has things she needs to correct and think about, yes, do that. I wholeheartedly agree with what you're doing. Stay true to yourself, protect your energy at all costs, and protect your mental health. At the end of the day, down the line, when you're not playing anymore, they're not going to be worried about how you're doing mentally at all. So at the end
Right.
of
If
the
they
day,
break her down and she can't play, like, is that what you want? Because this is the player that you like to watch, you like to see her play, you want to see her play, but you break her down and she can't play. Like, how does that win for you?
I can't.
How is
I
that a
can't
win for
tell you.
anybody?
I can't tell you because at the end of the day, black women in this society right now, there's always been an uphill battle, and they just making it harder and harder every day. Even just women as a whole, feel battle for you guys, and you have to push and you have to push. But there's always some pushback, as we're seeing, even in the Naomi Osaka situation. She's choosing to better herself mentally so she can be a better athlete and a better player for you guys at home. You don't see it that way. If you're stressed at home, these fans or these reporters, they're allowed to go to counseling. They're allowed to not come to work if they need a mental day. Why can't she? Because she get paid millions of dollars? I don't get it, man. I don't think I ever will.
It's a tough one. You know, I'm just gonna wrap it up. You know, unfortunately, we have to we have to, as a society, to we have to make it a point to pay attention to these things, call them out as we see it, and just not justify it, rectify it to change it in the future to make it better for everybody else. Guys, make sure you come back next week for more topics like this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll all see you next week. God bless.